this bunker, not knowing what to do, and they said, "Well, we're gonna have to start pushing buttons. It's the end now."
Yeah.
But that was on one of his videos, one of his latest videos. He was going into the vision that he had about that war. It actually happened.
Exactly. So it's gotten to the point, and they don't know what to do anymore. They don't know what to do with the Israelites. They don't know what to do with this Islam situation in Iran. They don't know what to do. Their backs up against the wall. So now it's to the point where they're gonna have to press certain buttons, or they're gonna have to go for the persecution. Okay, it's to that point. But the Lord is gonna make that move for them, and it's just gonna go down there from there. And it's not gonna go downhill slowly and gradually. It's gonna go downhill instantly. From night to day. Go on, bro.
Isaiah 34:6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made with the fat. It's like it is made fat with fatness,
right,
and with the blood of the lambs and goats,
right,
with the fat of the kidneys of rams.
And like I said, night to day, because we're in Jacob's night, and we're in Esau's day. So the day the night that we're in is going to turn to our day instantaneously. Things are going to start moving fast. And 2020 don't even sound right, man. If you know what I mean, like it's something about just even saying it. 2020 sounds weird, strange. But it goes because strange things are going to continue to happen. It's going to be actualized. All right, and we're just getting into the beginning of the year. What happened in Baghdad? A major general was obliterated. They couldn't even recognize him. Like he was pretty much blown to a smithereens. They couldn't recognize the man. And we just got started in 2020. So if we just get started in the year 2020, more shit is going to escalate. More moves are going to be made. More violence are going to occur. And then this whole thing is going to blow up out of proportion, man. Go on, bro.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bosra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Right, so a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Again, wherever Idumea is currently, wherever the Edomites are, that's Idumea. And we're in Idumea right now. Okay, we're in a portion of Idumea, but this Idumea is talking about America. So wherever you see Idumea at, that's where the indignation of the Lord is going to be at. Go on.
Verse 7. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls.
Meaning the people. Go on. And the people are going to be likened as the bulls and the cows and the rams and the goats. Because the people are going to be the sacrifice. Go on.
And their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance.
For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. So we're in the beginning stages of this nuclear war. Okay? But we're reading the end result of what's going to happen. So this is why I can easily say, regardless whether you believe in us or not, that Russia's not going to rise up, China's not going to rule next, ain't nobody going to rule next. Everybody's going to lose that war, and they're going to destroy themselves, so they can't destroy themselves no friggin' more. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take rulership when the Messiah returns. Okay, when Yahushua returns, all right, which is of the tribe of Judah, the so-called black man, he's going to rule, he's going to take over, and they're going to have to fight Yahushua. Okay? All these different governments, they're going to fight this UFO, this great UFO that they can't really identify. And that's where the Messiah is going to intervene and set his rulership on the earth.
That's right.
You hear the term kingdom of heaven, that's what's going to happen. And we're going to be a part of that rulership. The 144,000, go on.
Verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses.
And the year of recompenses, the year of payback. Go on.
For the controversy of Zion.
For the controversy of Zion. So let's read that again.
Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
So it is the year of two things. It's the year of the Lord's vengeance and the year of payback. So whoever afflicted the real Zion, the real children of Israel, they're gonna have to receive the recompense of that.
That's right.
When he comes back. And they better hope like hell that what we're saying is not true. They better hope like hell that the Israelites ain't so-called Negroes, so-called Latin Native American Indians, and to those that are scattered abroad. Okay, they better hope like hell it's not us. Because if it is us, they got some shit to deal with, man. So let's read that again.
Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Verse 9, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch,
Right.
and the dust thereof into brimstone,
Right, and the dust thereof into brimstone. Keep going.
and the land thereof shall become a burning pitch.
Right, in the land thereof. America's going to become a burning pitch. So this is where all of this is leading up to. Britain wanting to calm this thing down. They don't want no interest in it. France ain't saying nothing about it. The Prime Minister down here is not saying anything about it. He's pretty much in Leeds, in the prison, talking about the prison system in Leeds. When he should really should be addressing the issue as to what happened in Iraq. Go on. So America's by themselves, man. Keep going.
Verse 10, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Right, the smoke thereof shall go up forever. Okay, it's gonna be ongoing. Like for example, what happened in 9/11? What is it? 2001. Them cities was burning for a long time, for months actually. So just imagine when the whole thing gets totaled and pelted. It's gonna continue on. The smoke is gonna continue to air out. Go on. So bad times are coming. Real bad times are coming for this world. Go on, brother.
From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Right. Because you're going to have other creatures that are going to dwell in that land. And that's in the book of Isaiah 13. You're going to have dragons, serpents-like creatures, scorpions, okay, snakes, owls. Satyrs are going to dance here. All kind of desert-like creatures are going to dwell in that area. Okay, it says that even an Arabian shall not pitch a tent there. Yeah. Actually, you know, you can hold on to it. You can get it. Get Isaiah 13, bro. What you got now?
At Thessalonians 5, for when they shall say peace and safety.
Yeah, please get that. Yeah.
Wouldn't Isaiah 13 first?
No, get what you got first.
Okay, I'll start from the top. This is 1 Thessalonians 5. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child,
Right.
and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Why, that's the spirit.
As soon as he said,
Hey, that's beautiful.
Right after you read that, it just came on.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Right at the right time.
Oh man,
Whoa.
yeah. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light, and the children of the day.
Right, so that's it right there. As soon as the brother read that, the light came
children
on.
of light.
So it's the truth. So that shows you right there, we got the light. The Spirit is revealing to us that we got the light. Okay, and the light is the breakdown of the scriptures, the truth breakdowns in terms of how we breaking it down. Get me somebody, brother. You get me Isaiah 8 chapter. I don't need to keep jumping around. But get me the Isaiah 8. Matter of fact, he can get Isaiah 8. He can get Isaiah 8 verse 20. Okay. Yeah, so we got the light, man. We got the truth, so to speak. But the part of the truth that we're getting into is this nuclear war, this world's war, which is destined to happen. It's destined to happen. There's no putting off. There's no saying, oh, it might happen, or is it maybe, we don't know. No, we're very certain that this event is going to take place. Very certain, because it is written in the Word of God to happen.
Right.
So it's going to happen. And we've been talking about, I'm going to say it several times coming. We've been the guys that was been speaking about this for years. Okay? Just so that you're reminded here. If you know Christopher Green, he used to come and say, he actually came up with the prophecy. He was probably listening to us and heard what we were saying. Talking about he was the first one to say that Iran was going to go to war with America. Come on, man. He was listening to us. Yeah, so who's reading?
Got Isaiah 8 and 20.
Yeah, read that, yeah.
Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. If they speak not according to this word or this testimony, there is no light in them. So we're speaking according to the testimony and this word. So that means we have the light. Let's get Isaiah 60 now. Isaiah 60 verse 1. And then we're going to jump to the original script I have. what did Isaiah the 60th chapter say? We're going to find it out. Let's read it.
Isaiah 60. Arise and shine, for the light is come,
Right, so it says, arise and shine, for the light is coming. We have the light. Go on.
and the glory of the Lord, Yahweh Shem
So
Yahushai,
this is a part of the glory of the Lord, the Creator.
is risen upon thee.
Yeah, it's risen upon us.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Yeah, and that's already happened as it stands. But I don't want to specify more than that. I want to get back to the original point I had, which is this nuclear war. Yeah, you can read that. Yeah.
So,
No, finish Isaiah 34. Yeah, finish that.
so this is Isaiah.
Shut up, shut up.
This is Isaiah 13. That's like Isaiah 34 and 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof, dust thereof into brimstone, and the land shall become a burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day.
Right.
The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Right.
From generation to generation.
Okay.
It shall lie waste.
So this is talking about America, the prophecy of America. It's going to be a desolate land forever and ever, and the smoke is going to burn for a long period of time, an age. Going. So the American way of life, that's not going to exist anymore. It's going to be destroyed.
That's right.
So even if you live in a different country and you watching American media, that ain't going to exist anymore. The media that we're going to promote is the media of righteousness. Okay. Okay. The idea of Edomitic supremacy, that's going to be dissolved. Man, that's going to be destroyed. You're going to have Israelite supremacy now. And the way of being an Israelite and the works of what an Israelite is supposed to be doing, the people are going to do it now. That's the new thing we're coming into, man. Go on, brother.
From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it.
Right, and the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. Those are two filthy birds. So you're going to have animals, like I've said earlier before, that are going to possess the landmass of America. You would know where California is to New York. It's going to be a 5,000 square mile desert where desert creatures will inhabit that land. After it's destroyed, wholly destroyed. Go on.
The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it.
Okay.
And he shall stretch up upon it the line of confusion, the stones of emptiness.
Okay.
They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there.
You know who the nobles are going to be? The owls dwelling in that area. Go on.
And all her princes shall be nothing.
Right.
And thorns shall come up in her, it's like in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls.
Right, and it shall be an habitation for dragons and a court for owls. So it's going to be a wildlife area, a desert wildlife area for desert creatures to dwell in. That's what America's going to turn into eventually. After it's wiped off the face of the map due to the nuclear missiles, they have to fight Russia, they have to fight China because of Iran. And what's going to happen is the Israelis are going to lead America to make the wrong move again, and they're going to get in that war. It says the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's what it says. And we know that the Israelis is very well a part of America. Small country, but it's very dominant over the American system. So the Israelis are going to be the one to lead them into this war, this battle of Armageddon, that they're going to lose. They're going to get themselves in a situation, and they will not be able to come out of that situation. So let's read on.
The wild beasts of the verse 14. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island.
Yeah.
And the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest.
Yeah, keep going.
There shall the great owl make her nest and lay.
Yeah, there shall the great owl lay nest and pretty much produce children owls, baby owls, to adult owls. So it's going to be, so that place is, as we're reading, now we're getting into the wildlife of it now. This is what Isaiah is going into. He's going into the wildlife aspect of what America's going to turn into. It's going to be a land of wildlife. No human beings are going to dwell in that land. No men or women are going to dwell in that land, but animals. Go on. As it was during the time of Solomon, it's going to go back to that all over again. Where Solomon had to get spices and animals and all kind of creatures to beautify the kingdom. Go on.
And lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered.
So you're going to have vultures now. They're going to be gathered together. And why are they going to be gathered together? Because you're going to have nothing but dead carcasses laying around. Go on.
Everyone with her mate.
Everyone with their mate. So let's keep going.
Verse 16, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read.
This is what we're doing right now. We're seeking, we've already sought out of the book of the Lord and we've read. Now we have the understanding of what's going to occur. Now we have the understanding of what world we're living in, and we understand who we are as a people. So this is where we at right now, proclaiming, what is it? The end from the beginning. And the main thing that we're dealing with right now is this nuclear war escalation, which no one wants to be a part of. Because America got themselves in some shit that no one wants to be a part of, man. So you got a scripture?
Yeah, I got a scripture.
Here we go.
Jeremiah. It's like it. Jeremiah 50 and 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed.
Right, so who's the mother of America?
Britain.
Great Britain. If it wasn't for Britain, then there would be no America. So when you actually do the research on American history, you'll find that out. Which I don't want to really elaborate on, but we just know basically that America was set up by the British. But what's going to happen is this Great Britain is going to be feel ashamed and confounded because of the deeds of America. And we're kind of seeing that right now, by the way, since that you've read down. They actually feel confounded. They're saying, look, we're not a part of this. We don't want to deal with this. You know, Benjamin Rahab said, I don't want no part of this, man. Dominic. I keep getting it wrong, man. Dominic said, I don't want no part of this. So he feels what? Confounded. It's so much so that, what's the other guy's name, man? Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson ain't talking about this. What just happened? Now, he may talk about it later on, but he should have been speaking about it. Go on, brother.
Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be as a wilderness.
Right, and what does it mean? What does the word hindermost mean? It means the end part of the nations. So when we look at the globe, there's a country that's all the way at the end, and that country is America. So it says that the hindermost of the nations shall what? Let's read that again.
Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be as a wilderness.
It shall be as a wilderness. It's going to be wholly destroyed. We just read it in Isaiah 13, what that land is going to be like. It's going to be in the habit of devils and creatures and all kinds of sorts. It's going to be a wildlife. That's what we read. So now, what Jeremiah is reading is the same vision that Isaiah the prophet had. So let's read this again.
Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land,
A dry land.
and a desert.
And the desert. You see? So at the end of this war, we know that no one's gonna win this war. We know Russia's not gonna win. We know that Iran's not gonna win. We know that China's not gonna win. As they believe and think. They believe they think they're gonna be the next superpower. But the next superpower is a hidden superpower which no one sees. And it's the ones that you see right here standing right before you. We're going to be the ones in power next.
That's right.
Because you have a hidden government, and we're the hidden government that's coming next.
That's right.
Go on, bro.
Verse 13, because of the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem, he shall be wally, holy,
Yep.
desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished.
Right. So it's going to be wholly desolate, and everyone that go by it shall be astonished. Because this was a great city. This was a city, as they said, right, made of gold, right? But look at it now. It's destroyed. It's wholly destroyed. This was the one that ruled the nations with anger, right? How was the whole hammer of the earth cut asunder, meaning broken into pieces? That's what the nations are going to say now. So this is just the end part of what we're reading. We're reading the end part of this war that America's going to find themselves in and won't be able to get themselves out. Go on.
Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
Yeah.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her.
Right, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. So is this literally talking about bows? No, this is talking about a missile. Missiles being shot from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. This is why you have intercontinental ballistic missiles that can go from one continent to the next one. So it's all metaphoric. This is why people can't understand what the Bible is saying, because it's spoken in code, but you gotta see it. Go on, brother.
Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Jehovah Sham Yahushai. Shout against her round about.
Yeah.
She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen.
Right, she have given her hand, her foundations are fallen, and the foundation of America, no matter how great America is, military-wise, weaponry-wise, it's going to be destroyed anyway, because it was written. Because you got to understand, it was the Lord that pumped up America the way that it is. The Lord pumps up all of these nations to be great, to be super great, just so He can smack them down and show His majesty. You see, that's where it's all going to be. That's the end result. We're reading the end result right now. Speaking of end result, we're reading it to you. Go on.
Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord.
For it is the vengeance of the Lord. So the Lord is going to exercise His vengeance and His indignation against the people of that land. Because right now it's great to be an American citizen, but when it's all said and done, it's going to become dusty. And the word America, by the way, let's look up the word America. Let's get into the depth of the word America. The word America means bitter, from the Latin Americo. So America was established bitterly, dealing with the Israelites, and also it's going to end bitterly. And the 2/3 are going to be destroyed, and also these proud-ass Edomites are going to be destroyed too. And it's going to be nuked by these other nations. Go on, brother. You got something.
Take vengeance upon her,
Oh, yeah, Monica.
as she hath done. Do unto her. Read it again.
Yeah. And the brother typed in the word bitter, and that's what you get. Amarica.
Just to prove it in Spanish.
Kind of a glur, but
Okay, yeah.
You see?
kind of glary, but it might come out anyway.
So it's either Amarica or Americo. Which really, Americo is Latin Italian, Americo. But in the Spanish, the Latin is Amarica, America. So it all leads back to bitter, the word bitter, the word Americo or Amarica. Go on, brother.
Take vengeance upon her,
Which is America.
as she hath done. Do unto her.
Yeah. So it says, take vengeance upon her and do unto her as she hath done unto you, done unto the saints. And Great Britain is not getting them scot-free as they want to.
That's right.
They want to escalate the situation, right? Like Dominic Rahab said, we look and see, I got it right now. Dominic, I got it right, what is it, the 6th time now, right? So he said, look, I don't want no part of this, man. We have to calm the situation here. And yeah, so I mean, I spoke to, Mike Pompeo. I believe he either spoke to Trump, and he said, look, we spoke about the escalating it rare, but it's going to get worse. There's no de-escalation. It's going to escalate now. So I have to keep bringing that up. Prophecy. It's all prophecy. That's all it is.
Yeah, can I just say?
Yeah, go on, bro.
Because when Trump said it, and I watched Trump in the background on the TV. You know, it's just there. But the way I looked and the look on his face when he was going to say something, I turned up the volume because I can see.
Right.
And he said it with that kind of like with that pride, you know. He's dead. Like,
Right.
and
We got him.
so that would have brought up people's attention. And considering that Dominic, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Donald Raab, he's got family, he's got children, distant relatives, and I remember years ago watching a lot of these documentaries on the drones, because they had drones going over there, and you can see it, and I was cringing, man. You can see the people running, and I was in Christianity then, but I was cringing, and so that's what they're doing. They've been doing it. It's not just started now. They've been doing it to loads of people, killing people. So they've got one of the major ones now. So they've got people's attention, his family, distant family, all the friends, and the children come up, they arm themselves and they say, boy, that America, the big demon.
Yeah.
So it creates a whole generation of hatred towards America, man.
Exactly. And that's what's
The great
going on around
Satan.
the world. And this is why people are beginning to hate America now. They used to love the country very much. Now they hating on it because of the miscalculated moves that they've been making.
That's right.
Which is really all done by the Heavenly Father anyway. Go on, brother.
It's Revelation 18 and
Oh,
2.
by the way, get Obadiah the first chapter where it says, "Ye are despised amongst the nations." Get me that. Go on.
It's Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying,
Yeah.
Babylon the great is fallen, and it's become a habitation of devils.
Right, so the angel said, Babylon the great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils. Now, what does this actually mean? This is not talking about people. This is talking about the desert creatures we were just reading in the book of Isaiah 13 and beyond, so to speak. That's what this is going into. Go on.
Look, the hold of every foul spirit
See, the whole of every foul spirit, go on.
and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
So it's telling you right there that it's talking about those doleful creatures, those nasty, filthy creatures that are going to inhabit that land. Go on.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her
Right, and
fornication.
what is the wrath of her fornication of wine? The philosophies thereof that came out of it. Okay, the American way of life. Okay, sodomy. Right, feminism. Right, bestiality, all kind of nastiness. Pornography. So that's been all influencing the people all around the world. So much so that the people in the East have taken hold of this Western custom, like the women. Women are standing up. Women are starting to stand up now. That's all America. That's all the philosophy going back to America, putting women first and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah. Import and export. Go on.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my
I
people.
tell you what, brother, drop that. Give me Revelations, the 16th chapter. Because we got to deal with the Euphrates River. But we're going to read the first verse. Because everything's happening right there. The war, this main war that we're talking about is beginning right there in this region here. So let's read that. Yeah, start with verse 1. We'll read all the way down and break it down. Yeah, we'll read all throughout it. Yeah.
This is Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour upon the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth.
Right.
And the first went and poured out his vial
I
upon
tell
the
you what,
earth.
brother, can you get me the article where it says New York is on standby on Red Alert? That's on RT. Yeah.
And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men
Well, you don't have that.
which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And the second angel poured out of his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angels of the waters saying, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and wast and shalt be, because thou hast judged
This
us.
is right here. He blows you on my opinion on how to look preparing for threats from you now.
For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy.
Yeah.
And I heard another out of the altar saying, Even so, Lord, thy power almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of the Most High.
Yeah, so the men that were scorched with great heat was coming out of those missiles. And I have to keep making mention of the missiles because that's going to be the actual instrument that's going to be used to do just that. This is why they got them. Everybody got them. It was just America in the 40s, and these Europeans that had them now. Everyone got them because this is going to be the main instrument that the Lord is going to use to do as we've just read. So let's read that again.
So Revelation 14 and 9. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of the Most High, which have power over these plagues.
Right, which have power. And it's telling you right there that the Most High is going to be the one bringing these plagues. He's going to be the one orchestrating these plagues by the angels. So they blaspheme the one that's actually going to perform these plagues on the earth. Because ancient Egypt, as we read about, when it was on its way out, the Lord was plaguing it by all of these different miracles.
Yeah.
Through Moses. And this modern day Egypt, also known as Sodom and Gomorrah, is going to be plagued just like how it was, but more in a different way. It's going to be by fire. It's going to be plagued by fire.
Which have power over the plagues, and they repented not to give him glory.
Yeah.
Verse 10, and the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beasts, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the Most High of heaven because their pains and their sores, and repented not their deeds.
That's this whole world, which makes up this revival of this ancient Roman system, which is the beast. When you read the beast of Daniel, it's the 7th chapter. That's what this is talking about. So I want you to read that again, brother.
So it's Revelation 16 and 11. And blasphemed the Most High of heaven because their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds.
Right.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Yeah.
And the water thereof was dried up, that the ways of the kings of the east might be prepared.
Right, that's the one I wanted. Let's read that again, one more time.
This is Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Yeah.
And the water thereof was dried up.
And the waters thereof was dried out. So let's go and look at the map. You got your phone on you, right? Yeah, please do. If we look at the Euphrates rivers, it's actually drying out, or it's damn near dried out. We're gonna show you something. Why? So that the kings of the east might be prepared. So we're not just reading about it. We're actually gonna show you what's actually happening according to this prophecy. Well, let's bring it up. Yeah, just read what you can read, brother.
Okay, come on. So this is taken from the New York Times from 2009. So it says Iraq.
So wait a minute, it's been drying up since back then. So how much more it is now? Let's read that again. Let's go on.
From the New York Times.com, Iraq suffers as the Euphrates River dwindles.
And that's 11. That article was brought out going on 11 years ago, 10 and a half, 11 years ago. So how much more now? It's probably no more as it stands right now. Go on.
So it says, Jabesh, Iraq, throughout the marshes, the reed gathers, standing on the land there once floated over, cry out to the visitors in a passing boat. It says, the Euphrates is drying up, strangled by water policies of Iraq's neighbors, Turkey and Syria, and a 2-year drought, and years of misuse by Iraq and its farmers.
Right.
The river is significantly smaller than it was just a few years ago.
You see?
Some officials worry that it could be soon be half of what it is now. The shrinking of the river Euphrates, a river so crucial to the birth of civilization.
Yeah, so we got the point on that. The point of the matter is that the Euphrates River, you got some more on that? Okay, let's read on.
The birth of civilization that the book of Revelation prophesied.
Oh boy, you see that? And this was brought out in 2009, right? So how much more the Euphrates River is drying out more? Prophecy, let's get the actual prophecy on it.
So this is Revelation 16 and 12. And the sixth angel poured out the vial upon the great river Euphrates.
Okay.
And the water thereof was dried up.
Right, so the waters, we just read it. We just read it in the article. That was publicated 2009. Right? That it was dried out. And who's going to be bringing these plagues? The Most High. Yahweh's going to be bringing these plagues.